Hi, I'm Karen Lowe, and I chair the Coast Guard Art Program. We are sponsored by the Salmagundi Club in New York, and as such, I sit on the board of directors and chair the committee here. COGAP is the Coast Guard fan club. We are the historians visually for the Coast Guard. We record their history, their missions, their life in art. COGAP to me means a way to give back in a really very special, very unique volunteer way. There's a lot of ways to give of yourself as a volunteer, but I think what's great about doing it as art, it's like immortalizing a thank you in art. We talk about the great oil paintings, and that's what we're doing. We're taking what may seem like ordinary events to the Coasties are extraordinary events to us. So we are impressed. We are inspired by what the Coasties do. So we put them in art, and we give them as a gift.
I am Justin Giacobbe. I'm an operational specialist, second class for Sector Northern New England. Coast Guard Art Program. I remember when I was a reservist down at PSU 307, always drew. Our logo, I guess you could call her, Miss Soto was like, "Did you ever hear of the Coast Guard Art Program?" I'm like, "Coast Guard Art Program? Who?" I mean, I didn't even know we had one. I mean, we're a small branch. We're like the stepsister of the military, but she's like, "Contact Marianne." I said, "Okay." That's how it all began. So far, this is my first piece. It's a big network for artists, not only on civilian end, but as for the military itself. I feel like I'm the youngest person, but you know, it's a family, just like the Coast Guard. I mean, both civilian and military. You know, COGAP means to me is contributing back to both the civilian sector, but the Coast Guard itself. I mean, as on the civilian side of the house, you know, I see what we do, and I understand what we do because I work it. Maybe not an AST, but I like to contribute back to that and to tell a story to civilians, because a lot of people don't understand what the Coast Guard actually does. And each one of these missions, I'm not an expert for all these missions, but I know a little bit enough to say, hey, this is how it is. And if not, as we all know, we'll always follow up with an answer.
Well, this is a one-of-a-kind show about COGAP. Yes, it looks like a lot of art shows because there's nice work on the walls and there's beautiful lighting, and there's a label that talks about who the artist is, the title of the art. But our labels are more. They tell you something more, and yet they're missing something. And what they're telling you more is really what these paintings are about. You don't have to guess what was the artist thinking, what were they painting. We want you to know these are the missions of the Coast Guard. This is the rigorous training they go through. This is the ships and crew in action. This is their daily life. So that's what the description tells you. It educates the public. I think it also is a nice tribute to the Coasties themselves, what we do. What is missing is the price. The art is not for sale. It is a gift from every artist to the Coast Guard. It is what we do because we are inspired and we have such great respect for what the Coast Guard does. These are gifts of art from our heart.